of my Power Pilates. Now I'm going to do this every day, and I'm going to do it for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, depending on how it goes this week and obviously the demand for it. But it's super beneficial for strengthening through the core, the glutes, the back, and really focusing on working through those obliques and transverse abdominals and working on technique. So it's really beneficial, this series. So please do, if you can't join me live now, then please do it on catch up and try and do the whole series, because we're going to slowly progress up as the week goes on and the weeks go on. And today we're really focusing on our breathing, our core, and we're going to work through the glutes as well. And we're going to work different parts of the body as different focus points as the days go on, and obviously progressively harder. But today it's all about the technique, and I'm wanting you to really focus on pulling everything in. Okay, so we're going to start onto our backs. So just place your feet hip width apart, and I want you to take a few deep breaths here, and I really want you to focus on finding your neutral spine position. So big deep breaths in, and I want you to do a couple of pelvic tilts here. So I'm just flattening my back and arching through, flattening and arching. So I'm basically doing a pelvic tilt here. Okay, just tilting forward and back, rocking through my pelvis. And I want to stop when I found my neutral spine position. It's the natural position which your back falls in. So just do a few more, and I want you to really think about squeezing your pelvic floor. So squeeze as you tilt your pelvis, squeeze, engaging that pelvic floor. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale as you tilt. And just relaxing there, just relaxing down. Keep your pelvic floor engaged here. And you should have a very slight arch in your back. So you're not really arching, you're not really pushing in hard, okay? So it's almost like you can't fit your hand through here, okay? So I want you to concentrate on staying in that position. And my core is engaged here. So if you're unsure whether your core is engaged, I want you to take your fingertips to your bottom rib and take a big inhale, but try not to expand for your chest, okay? You're expanding for your belly. So big inhale. As you exhale, you feel that core tighten. Engage in your pelvic floor. And I'm just going to lift my left leg up into tabletop position. So that when I talk about tabletop, I'm talking about this position, okay, and double tabletop is into this position. All the time, making sure you're not arching for your back, okay, you want to keep it really still, concentrating on your foot, your back being very, very still. And I'm going to raise my left leg up into tabletop, lifting my right leg into tabletop, taking my left leg back down, and my right leg back down. Lifting the other side, right leg up, left leg up, right leg down, left leg down. So just warming up the core here, and really concentrate on the no movement for your back. So imagine there's someone else's hand underneath the small of your back, and they don't know that you're lifting one leg up and the other. Nice and still. Keep that core nice and braced. Pelvic floor stays engaged. Just lift and lower. Think about your breathing throughout, in through your nose, out through your mouth. alternating the side you're lifting. You're going to stay here until you really nailed it, basically. My core is engaged the whole time, so I'm placing my fingertips on my bottom rib and I can feel those muscles engaged. Lift and lower. Keeping your breathing going. We're just going for a few more here. I just need you to understand that movement. Understand keeping really still. And on the next time, I want you to hold your legs up into your tabletop position. I'm going to lift my head up off the ground. And I'm going to take hold of my left leg behind the knee. I'm going to straighten and straighten the other leg. And we're just going for scissors here. Pulling in, feeling that hamstring stretch. Each time you're lowering your leg to the ground, I want you to think about squeezing your glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, lower. Exhale, lower. Each time, just pulling that leg in a little further. Keeping that core engaged. Just a few more here. Pulling in. Squeezing your glutes as you lower. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. A few more here. And placing your feet back down and rolling back down. I'm just going to take my hands out to the side and I'm going to drop my knees over to one side and then the other. Now I want you to pin your knees together and your feet together. So really squeeze them tight together. I'm just going to drop my knees over to the right, back up, over to the left. So pin those knees together, pin those feet together. All the time thinking about your breathing, thinking about your core engagement, engaging that pelvic floor. Squeezing those knees, squeezing those feet together. Think about your shoulders should be firmly on the ground. I'm just going to lift our legs up into that tabletop position, still squeezing those knees, dropping over to one side. I don't want you to go all the way because I really want you to be concentrating on that core. Warming up the obliques. Just rolling to one side and to the other. And don't just go through the movement, don't just go through the motion. I need you to be concentrating on your breath. Making sure when you come up to this position at the center,
You're still in that neutral spine position. Keeping those shoulder blades on the ground. And on the next turn, I want you to hold your feet over to one side. So holding those knees over, keeping them pinned together. I want you to lift your head up. I'm going to take my hand to the back of my head. So my feet, you might want to go the same side as me. My knees are fallen to the right, okay? My knees are fallen to the right. I'm placing my hand, my left hand over the back of my head, and my right hand's going to come overhead. And I'm going to reach up and touch my calf and back down. Reach up and touch and down. Reach up and touch and down. Really squeezing through those obliques, crunching in. Exhale as you lift. Six more here. As you're coming back, try not to arch through your back. This time, hold it here. This time, as I take my arm overhead, I'm going to lengthen through this leg and crunch in. Lengthen with my left leg and crunch in. Try not to arch through your back as you lengthen. Eight to go. Three to go. Hold it here. Hold it. And taking your legs back to the center. Hand comes to the other side. Dropping your knees. Hand comes overhead. And reach. Remember not to arch through your back. Four more. This one hold. This time when I take my arm overhead, I'm going to lengthen through this top leg. Overhead and lengthen. 4 more here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking your feet back to the center. Hands coming up, head back down. Up into our tabletop position. I want you to flex your feet. No pointies. Okay, I'm going to extend. Make sure you're still in that neutral spine position. So you're not really pressing in here. And no arching up. Neutral spine position. So if you need to find it again, take a big deep breath in. Exhale. A few breaths in. Find that neutral spine. I'm going to extend my left leg out, flexing that foot, making sure you're pushing your heel away from you. And I'm going to extend my right hand overhead. So left leg is out, right hand is overhead into our dead bug position. Feel that in your leg and your arm, feel that tension as you're pushing your heel away, so tensing through those legs. Core is really engaged here. Keep that pelvic floor engaged, extending through the leg. And we're going to come back in. This time, the right leg comes out, flexing that foot, left hand comes overhead. And back in. This time together. Left hand out, left leg out as right hand comes overhead. And in. Left hand, right leg out and in. Pushing that heel away from you. Keep your shoulders firmly into the ground. Exhaling as you extend. Keep your breathing. Concentrate on your core. I need full concentration here. Use your breathing so you're not working through those hip flexors, which so many people like to work for their hip flexors when they're doing core work. Couple more here. Ooh. And holding it here, I'm going to place my left hand to my right knee. And I'm going to extend my left leg and right hand back over. And this time, as I extend, I'm pushing hard into my right knee. Left hand to right knee. And extend the opposite arm and leg out, pushing into that knee. As hard as you can. Push and in. Push and in. Push. Pushing that heel away from you. Really pushing hard into that knee that's bent. Five more here. Push. 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 One more and hold. Hold. Push. Keep pushing into that knee. I'm shaking here because I'm pushing hard. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back in. My right hand's going to come to my left knee. I'm going to extend out as I'm pushing hard into that left knee. And in. Push. 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 That's it, keep pushing. And hold. push, push. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs back in, hands behind your head, lifting your shoulders off the ground. We're going for high bicycle crunches. Rotate, rotate, nice and slowly. Keeping those legs high, lifting those shoulders up. Concentrating through your core here. Nice and slowly. Keeping that neutral spine. Lifting those shoulders up. Three, 2, 1. And lower your feet down. We're going to come rolling onto the side, onto your elbow. We're just going to warm up those glutes. So feet in a 30-degree angle, so not tucked in here, not straight. Let's bend. And you're just going to raise your top knee off and lower. Imagine there's a skewer going through your hip all the way down through to the ground, so you're not doing this. Keeping nice and still. Core remains really nice and tight. Pelvic floor engaged. Keeping that tension through your obliques. Lift and lower. Lifting your feet off the ground and lift and lower. Five more. $15, hold it up, drop that foot back down, straighten your leg. I just want you to rotate. Foot down, foot up, foot down, foot up, foot down, foot up. Really feel that glute medius muscle, top of your glutes, really warmed up and engaged now. Flexing that foot. Little rotations. Keeping your toe pointed downwards, we're going to pulse here. Get that heel up towards the ceiling. Hold it and leg forward and back. Try and point that foot down. Hold it and circle. And the other way. And lowering back down. You're going to come back down and over to the other side and repeat. So up onto your side. Sorry, I'm turning my back on you guys. Up onto your side. Remember, if legs in a 30-degree angle, we're just going to lift that leg, knee up and down. Remember that skewer coming through your hip all the way into the ground. Now lifting your feet up and lift and lower. Hold it up, straighten that leg, rotation, foot down, foot up, foot down, foot up. And leg pulses. And hold it up, leg forward and back. Try and keep that heel up towards the ceiling. Hold it here and circle. And the other way. And lowering down, coming onto your back. Oh, they warmed up our glutes, didn't they? You're going to come up into a glute bridge, feet hip width apart. Making sure you're keeping your hips at level, okay? Hips are level. And you want to think about your ribs being low and your hips high. So give me a pelvic tilt here, from here to here, okay? Try not to think like this, arching through. You want to keep that neutral spine and if anything in that pelvic tilt position, okay? Feet are close together, so narrow hip width apart. Making sure your shoulders are nicely planted. Staying in this position. If you can, I'd rather you stay in this position going into a glute bridge, just lowering up and down. But if you can, taking one leg up towards the ceiling, keeping your hips level. So look at your hips. Are they level or is one dropping? Keep them straight. Imagine there's a bar over your hips and it's going to stay straight. We're going to lower and lift. Hold it, and we're going to bicycle crunch. So in circle. Imagine you're on a bike. Big circles. 11, 12, we're going for 20, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Foot comes back down, staying lifted in that hip position. Allow the leg comes up, making sure those hips are level. And we're going to lower and raise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, and circle. Keep those hips up. Four, 3, 2, 1. Keep those hips up. And slowly lowering down, tuck those knees in towards your chest. Head comes in. Oh, just rock from side to side. I always run over in these sessions, don't I? Now that was tough. Okay, I know I'm saying I'm progressing as we go on, but I will always give you variations. So I'd rather you to stay with the glute bridge for those ones because they were hard. Okay, we're going to roll
Just cross those legs in a loose cross position, and we're going to lean forward. Just feel that nice stretch coming through those glutes that have just worked really hard. So just lean forward. Ooh. Ouch, 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 ouch. And come back up. We've just got a couple of exercises left to go, and then I'll leave you to it. So coming onto our fronts. We're going to come down into a plank position. Now, in a plank position, I often see this done so wrong. Plank position, if I'm doing it correctly, I can't hold a plank for very long. If I'm not thinking about the motion, I'm thinking about the exercise, I can hold it forever, but injure myself. So when you're in a plank position, you want to think about driving those fists through the ground, okay? So imagine I'm in a plank position now, and my elbows want to be directly underneath my shoulders, pushing my fists into the ground, okay? So into the position. We're just going to come out onto our knees, okay? So often I see it like this. I want you to tuck your pelvis under, okay? So you're tucking your tailbone under, okay? So it'll be a slight rounded position, if anything. Okay, from this position, I'm just going to lift one knee down, up and lower, and the other side, keeping that core sucked in, okay? Lift, 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 pushing those fists through the ground. Ten, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 5 to go, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, just sit back. We're going to come now fully up into a plank. So I'd rather you do that again if you struggle in a plank position. But this time we're going to come up into a plank position, no arching through, suck it in, draw that belly button under, drive your fists through the ground, and we're going to tap our knee from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Knees come down, sit back. Big breaths here. Rolling up for our spine. I'm just going to bring one knee into this position. Making sure you're not rocking to the side. So if you look back, you can see the sole of your foot. All the way down if you can. Now everyone please just stay in this position. I'm just going to show you a different option. So if you struggle to get in that position at all, I'd just rather you come into here and lean forward. So you can still feel that glute stretch, okay? Just bring that other leg in and lean forward. Or come into your pigeon pose. Just take a few deep breaths here. And coming back up into a plank position and taking the other knee in and down. And coming back up. Coming into your cross-legged position. Taking your arms overhead, really reaching up over to one side and the other side. Big circle round. Shake it. Well done. Hope you enjoyed that first in the series. I know I said we're going to progress as we go up because some of those exercises were really tough. So please do comment, let me know how you got on. And yeah, hopefully you'll stick with me through this series at 4 o'clock every day. And yeah, see how you progress up.